quality of life for the people living in BIMSTEC countries. Also, your message that the strategy has to be customized for each country because every country is unique, special and important. May I now invite Mr. Wanchai Varavidya, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Commerce of Thailand, to please address us.
Mr. Nehru Mohanka, President, Indian Chamber of Commerce, Honorable Ministers, respectable secretaries, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ministry of Commerce of Thailand, it is my great honor and pleasure to have opportunity to address the inaugural session of the BIMSTEC Business CONCLAVE today. I am thrilled to see a large number of participants from BIMSTEC's members country, and this reflects the unbreakable bonds of our friendships and trust. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Indian Chamber of Commerce for organizing these events. These events bring key policy makers to exchange ideas, identify challenges, and explore opportunities to make BIMSTEC a more prosperous, resilient, and sustainable region. It will also provide an excellent opportunity for entrepreneurs in the Bay of Bengal regions to strengthen their business network, which will help further enhance our intra-trade and investment. These events provide what we need to promote the regional economics, integration, and the linkage of our trade and investment. Excellencies, as the current chair of BIMSTEC for the years 2022 to 2023, Thailand is committed to further advance the BIMSTEC cooperation through our themes of hospitality, resilience, and openness, or pro-BIMSTEC, to support a strong economic recovery and promote inclusive and sustainable regional growth. Trade is an essential building block for our regional integration. I am pleased to share that the trade relationship between Thailand and BIMSTEC has been cordially and successfully fostered throughout the years. Thailand trade with BIMSTEC's members countries for the past 5 years during 2017 to 2021 value about $20.1 billion on average. For 2023, trade between Thailand and BIMSTEC account to $23.5 billion, representing an increase of 19.25% from the same period of the last year, accounting for 4.7% of our total trades. Excellencies, to realize the greater intra-trade in our region, BIMSTEC need to focus on promoting our economic ties, encouraging the private sector participation, facilitating trade and transit, and avoiding the implementation of unnecessary measures that could be created barrier to trade and investment. Since 2004, BIMSTEC's members countries have been engaging in the negotiation of BIMSTEC FTA as a key mechanism to help enhance the intra-regional trade and to realize the true economic potential of the regions. The BIMSTEC FTA would be a crucial mechanism to boost economic recovery among the BIMSTEC members countries, especially during the challenge of the global economic uncertainties. As for Thailand, we attach our great importance to the BIMSTEC FTA negotiation and remain faithful to see an early conclusion of the BIMSTEC FTA negotiations. Thailand has shown our strong willingness to actively participate in all the negotiations meetings while exercising our utmost flexibilities. Thailand believes that the BIMSTEC FTA would help reduce essential trade barriers, facilitate business of our private sectors, and foster a vibrant regional value chain through investment. Excellencies, in conclusion, economic cooperation and linkage is crucial to promote a more resilient, prosperous, and sustainable BIMSTEC region. Thailand is pleased to express our full determination and goodwill to continue and deepen our economic tie with all the BIMSTEC members countries at all levels, from the government to private sectors. Once again, I would like to thank to the Indian Chamber of Commerce, ICC, for organizing the BIMSTEC Business Conclave. Looking at the distinguished participants, I am confident that discussion and business activities that are going to take during this event would be very enriching and meaningful. We should all reap the utmost benefit from this event. I'm looking forward to this successful event in the next 3 days. Thank you very much.
Excellency, thank you. I think BIMSTEC the larger picture, it would be a win-win for all. Our next speaker is a very renowned name coming from Northeast. He represents Government of Sikkim as the Chief Economic Advisor, which is a cabinet rank minister of the state. He is also a professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi, which is again, I'm sure many of you know. He is also a member of National Security Advisory Board, Government of India. May I invite Mr. Mahendra P. Lama to please address us.
Well, thank you very much, and namaste to all the very distinguished delegates. The president of this organizing team, ICC, Mr. Mehul Mohanka, and His Excellencies from all the BIMSTEC member countries and very distinguished delegates and my friends from media. I'm going to be slightly different today, precisely because we have been working on regionalism process in this part of the global world. We have 4 major initiatives in this particular geography: the SARC, the BIMSTEC, and we had ECIM, Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar, and of course now we have a small sub-regional grouping known as BIMSTEC. And the entire focus of the entire, what you call it, regionalism process is Eastern South Asia, this part of India. For us in India, BIMSTEC is a slightly different venture. That is because this is a meeting of 2 inter-regional organizations, inter-regional partners, including Thailand and Myanmar that side and the South Asian countries that side. And this is a core element in India's, what our Honorable Prime Minister says, Act-East policy and the India's Greater Mekong cooperations and of course India-ASEAN free trade regime. I would say that in case of BIMSTEC, we should not really fall into the trap of the SARC process. I've been in 2 major SARC high-level committees as a nominee of Government of India, and with a little bit of command on the entire regional process, I would like to say that SARC did not really take off because of 3 fundamental reasons. Of course, there are political reasons, that is between India and Pakistan, pulls and pressure of course, but essentially 3 major reasons why SARC did not really pull off. The first is the model we followed in the SARC process itself is a misplaced model. And that is a typical model of integration which we try to actually bring lock, stock and barrel from the European countries. You followed a model where we start with preferential trading arrangement, then go to free trade area, then go to customs union, common market, then to go to economic war. That is absolutely misplaced for South Asia, precisely because out of the 8 member countries in SARC, 5 of them belong to least developed category countries. So the entire political economy was contrasting here and blatantly unsuitable as far as model is concerned. Therefore, we should not really follow that model in the BIMSTEC process. And when business conclaves decides on certain things, I was pretty impressed because it's a different line of thinking this time. The second reason why it did not really take off was governance mechanism in the SARC process was too complex. We had a technical committee, then several layers of committee going up to the SARC summit leaders, right? And the SARC secretariat in Kathmandu is literally very powerless, basically an extension of national bureaucracy and with no professionals and very, very meager funding. I'm sure BIMSTEC will learn this lesson from what has really happened in the last 30 years in South Asia. And the third major reason why it really did not take off was it started talking about regional programs. Agreements, schemes were of that nature. But what is crucial in the entire regionalism process, if you see what happened in Africa, Southeast Asia, even in Central Asia and other countries, you'll find that they really follow project-based approach. Pick up a small project, make it useful, right? They make it a project-based approach, and that project was based on comparative advantage of a particular country and of course the core competence of this country. So, today's BIMSTEC, I would say, has been taken forward against 4 fundamental yet far-reaching changes. We can see 4 fundamental changes in the entire region. First is, of course, India's neighborhood first or Act-East policy, which is the core of our foreign policy. And in this entire newer principles of foreign policy, we say connectivity is the key. So idea is to create comprehensive connectivity, right? And several contact points with the neighboring countries. We have our trilateral highway, which is likely to be completed very soon. We have our shipway port project where you take directly shiploads of goods to shipway, then take it to Mizoram and other northeastern countries, right? You have a large number of border crossing points with customs, land customs stations with integrated checkposts, and the situation is fast changing. 10 years back, nobody really could put on the northeast region. It was a no-go situation. Today you have Asian Development Bank, World Bank, UNDP, even AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Board, can come to the northeast region and do a large number of activities. So you have Asian highways running that side, you have rail lines, you have waterways. So you have a 4-way connectivity progressing in northeast. One within a state like Arunachal Pradesh or Assam. The second is between the states, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Tripura and all. Third is the entire northeast region with the rest of India. And fourth is the region with the neighboring countries. Very, very interesting situations. I think today's BIMSTEC would really make use of these situations. The second important thing today in the Northeast is the provincial governments are taking interest, right? They are now becoming the pivots in the entire ball game of regionalism, sub-regionalism process. And they are really focusing on local integrations, right? The Paladama gas project, gas-based electricity generated projects in Tripura would supply electricity to Bangladesh. Arunachal Pradesh is trying to open up with Myanmar through Phang Sao Pass, right? And the lead person is here today with us, Mr. Hayat, the secretary here in the Arunachal Pradesh government. Dongcheng Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh is being considered as a new development port with Bhutan, right in the Trasiang phase of Bhutan. In Sikkim, our own Honorable Chief Minister Prem Singh Tabang is negotiating with the government of India to open a new trade route in the mountain areas known as Chihuahua with Nepal, eastern part. Many things are happening at a very, very local level, and that gives a tremendous degree of confidence and strength, right? And there's a huge scope. 99% of the northeast region, the borders are with the neighboring countries. Only 1% with the mainland India. Yet in India's total trade, not even 1% would be contributed by northeast region as far as the trade is concerned. Whereas if you see what is happening between China-Myanmar border trade, it's almost $5 billion trade. Even in a place like Muse and Ruili alone would be contributing almost $4 billion. I can see Thailand and Myanmar. I'm talking about the border trade, right? Border trade would be almost more than $4 billion. But look at India and Bangladesh, border trade with a country like Myanmar at a very, very bigger level. Right? Therefore, it gives us on the trade front also massive inputs to really transform the process. The third is, of course, when you have a connectivity, roads coming up in a big way, Government of India is emphasizing on opening as many contact points as possible with the neighboring countries. Many people will say, what will be the flow in these roads, railways, transport, waterways and all. So, we are not talking about trade only today. What we are talking about, services like tourism, education, health, communication, technology, electricity, grid, oil and gas pipeline, and value and supply chains. Therefore, now roads will not be only used for trade, but for this multiple. And the biggest push for all these has been again provided by Government of India when it for the first time brought guidelines for cross-border electricity trading in 2021. Now the Bhutanese and the Nepalese electricity can flow from the Indian transit lines, India's transmission lines, and move to now to Bangladesh, maybe later, a little later to Sri Lanka, to Myanmar, and further to Thailand and all these countries. And there are the recent agreements between our two prime ministers of Nepal and India about buying 10,000 megawatt of electricity in 10 years is a kind of a substantive framework of cooperations. You have for the first time local integration between national grid of Bangladesh and national grid of India, interconnecting and electricity transfer at Veramara and Berhampur border. So these are happenings. Therefore, I think we all must really understand what are the larger dynamics of cooperations. The fourth important issue, that will be my last point, is we want investors from Southeast Asian countries to come to in the entire BIMSTEC region, particularly in the Eastern South Asia, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and India, and India's north. Because this is a happening place, and this is going to remain as the most vibrant economic geography with a very higher potentials for very good growth regions. That used to be the case before independence in 1947. Now, but investors are not coming. Why investors are not coming? We looked into various regions. You have prominent institutions like ICC doing exhibitions, investment marts, trade marts across Southeast Asia, right, and in South Asia also. But yet investors are not coming. And Whenever we do our investors meet, large number of investors come, make commitment, but when it comes to really making investment at the ground level, very few, 1%, 2% of the commitment, they come and do the investment here. So we really wanted to look into why investors are not coming, right? Investors are not coming precisely because so far we adopted a top-down approach. We invited ministers, we invited top industrialists come down. But so when we went to a number of countries in Southeast Asia, in a study which was conducted by Northeast Development Financial Institutions, we suddenly realized that they are not coming precisely because there are several gaps. When you talk to investors, you went so successfully, participated in the ICC program in Govt or the Assam government's program in Govt, but you didn't come. Why didn't you come? Then they will tell us, oh, there is a staggering gap between what we are told in the investment marks and when we really go back to investing, we find so many gaps. So we identified 8 gaps. And these gaps are related to knowledge and information gap was the first one. There is no knowledge and information about where to spend, where to invest, how to spend. The second was seed projects gap, right? We do not know what kind of projects would be really extended and will be really connected with the market. The third was matchmaking gap. Who is our partner there? We do not know. The first one, the fourth one was policy coordination gap. You have a difference in policy between Government of India and the state governments. Within the state governments, you have this policy gap, that policy gap. You have a larger framework of India, ASEAN framework, that is also not there, right? Then the fifth one was startup gap. The sixth one was the steps gap. How do we go about it? If we have a piece of land, how do we really go about it further? How do you get environmental impact assessment clearance, forest clearance, security clearance, so you have the steps gap. And the last final was what you call it, incentives awareness gaps. We have several incentives Government of India extended by Government of India, but no one is aware except few industrialists and entrepreneurs. You have NEIDS, Northeast Industrial Development Schemes, and final, of course, is the confidence gap because of security and all kinds of reasons. Therefore, I would say in a very crucial gathering like this, where you have investors, policymakers, traders, tourism experts, all connectivity experts, I think one of the real things is to really come down to making a project and make the entire initiative, what you call it, a project-based approach to give the BIMSTEC absolutely a new value and absolutely a new platform. So towards the end, I would like to say that I bring warmest greetings to all of you from the Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim, Prem Singh and of course the people of Sikkim during this peak monsoon season in Sikkim, not very far away from this. Now you have a one-off flight. Some of you would like to come to Sikkim and enjoy the what you call in Sanskrit the Varsa, the monsoon there. Thank you very much.